When I first retired, I was very surprised to discover that I had to let go of these 8 things that I didn't even realize that I was hanging on to. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about those 8 things so that you can watch for them and better plan for your retirement. I'm Maureen Dobransky, and this is Life Starts at Retirement, where we make your retirement remarkable. When I first left my corporate job, I was ready. I was very ready to leave it. In fact, on the way to work every morning, I'd drive down the Deerfoot and I would get a stomach ache each and every morning because I was going to a job I didn't like. So 6 months after I left my job, I really was surprised to find out that I was still hanging on to some of these things. In fact, I've narrowed it down to 8 things that I was hanging on to. So in no particular order. The first thing I was hanging on to was really my identity. I was shocked, in fact, very, very, very surprised to find out that part of my self-worth, part of my feeling good about myself, part of who I was my work identity. And although I knew, I was a sales trainer at Yellow Pages, what I didn't realize is how that made me feel. I was proud. I was very confident in saying how I was this sales trainer, and all of a sudden that was gone. So I can clearly remember the very first time someone said to me, "Hey, what do you do?" And I kind of stumbled over it, and I said, "Well, I just left my job. I was a corporate sales trainer at Yellow Pages." And it made me think, okay, I'm really missing my identity here. I didn't realize that I'd miss it. That's one of the things I needed to let go. The second things that I needed to let go was that part of my social life. I was constantly busy. I was working. We'd go for lunches. I traveled the country sales training for Yellow Pages. I had tons of friends. So when I left the corporate world, I just assumed that would go on somehow. And I still am friends with many of those people. But when I left, their lives went on and they saw each other day after day after day, and I didn't. So I needed to find a different set of friends or cultivate those friendships more outside of work. So I quickly realized, though, that my new set of friends now comes more so from this stage of life, because that's what we have in common. So my social life. The next thing that I didn't think I'd miss that I did, it was recognition. That sounds kind of self-serving, but I didn't think I cared what others thought about me. I really didn't think it mattered to me, but I did. I missed someone saying, "Hey, good work," more, or I missed finishing up a training course and having everybody come up to me in the class afterwards and say, "Hey, thanks, I really like this, I really like that. What do you think about this?" That sort of recognition of a job well done and of some pride in what I had done. And it shocked me, but I realized I needed to let that go. And I've learned now that recognition or that feeling of self-worth needs to come from me and not some external source. So the next thing I needed to let go was stress. And I know I said earlier that I would just literally drive to work and I had a stomach ache on the way to work. And so I knew it was time to leave my job. But I didn't realize that I would miss the stress. Now, that sounds really ridiculous. It does sound crazy, right? But the stress, the drama, the politics, the excitement, the challenge, all of that sort of rolled into having something to do every day, having, moments passing quickly and things were going and moving all around me. And I missed that. My new routine was not stressful and was boring very quickly. That shocked the heck out of me. So I've realized, though, with the stress, that the longer I stayed retired or away from that, the more my body felt better. And so it really helped in the end. But I did miss that craziness that goes on day after day after day. So the next thing that I missed was career progress or advancement, I guess, because like most of us, I'd worked really, really hard. I had taken classes. I had gone to some sort of post-secondary. I tried for new jobs. I got, promotions a fair amount, and I just did more. I did more, just like everyone else. But I had reached a point in my career that really made me proud, and I felt I was pretty much at the top of my game. And here I was leaving after all these years of trying for more and trying for more and trying for more. So the loss of reaching for another job, or the loss of reaching for another skill, or just reaching for something new surprised me. I didn't think I'd miss it, but I did. So again, I had to decide personally what skill or stepping stone or thing I wanted to do next. And now I enjoy challenging myself for the sake of me, not for a company and not for career advancement. But that was a big shock to me. So the next thing that I needed to let go of, and this one was a biggie, was my own space. So for 30-ish years, both Ken and I left the house to work outside of the house. Then when we came home, we were busy. We had, cooking, cleaning, dishes, laundry. The kids, when we had younger kids, we had to take them to hockey, baseball, soccer, etc. And then when I first retired and I was at home, the house was mine. So it was my little retreat. But then within 6 months, Ken's work environment changed too, and he was able to work at home. So he made an office in the basement, and he started working out of home. I do have to say, it was very, very difficult. I didn't think about how it affected Ken that he was at home. I was only thinking about how it affected me. But I remember one day coming home, and I'm walking back into the house, and I went to go get a drink of water, open the cupboard. The glasses were no longer there. Now there were plates there. And I turned to Ken and I said, "What the heck are you doing? The glasses have been just fine in that cupboard for 20 years. Leave the house alone. And if you want to do anything, go out to the garage." But it was a big adjustment to have both of us in the house. So the loss of my own space. And now it's been almost 15 years since I've been home, and about 13, 12 since Ken's been home. It's much better. Most days are good, but we still struggle a little bit with our own space. The next thing that I needed to let go of was income security. So I was only 44 years old when I left my corporate job. I worked part-time after that, training for Microsoft for a while, and then I started my own company as a mortgage broker. I've always done something like this YouTube. I've always challenged myself. But the security of a paycheck every 2 weeks was really scary to leave behind. And that's what you leave behind when you retire. And so there's been many financially difficult times and a lot of financial worries over the years. But we're in a place now where we've saved and worked hard, and we've got a good retirement plan, and I wouldn't change a thing. But I needed to let go of that income security and the paycheck every 2 weeks. Now, the last thing that I needed to let go of was, and the reason why I left it as last is because it's so important. I needed to let go of a purpose or a reason to get out of bed. And I struggled with this one for a long time because I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a reason to get out of bed, and I thought I needed to let it go. But in reality, for me, I was 100% wrong. I need a purpose. Not everyone does, but I need a purpose. I still need the excitement of a challenge. I need the fun of a deadline. I need the stress and the thrill of something new. So for me, it's changed over the years. I've lowered a lot of those expectations. I still add something into my life, and I still challenge myself. But a lot of times the challenge and the excitement might be planning some fun golf event with the ladies and with wine, or planning something fun with my grandkids. So I have a deadline and a date picked out. Not always, but a lot of times I still have that challenge and that purpose, but it's changed. But for me, I was wrong. I do need a purpose, and I do need a reason to get out of bed. So I hope you've enjoyed this video about the 8 things that I needed to let go of when I left my corporate job. I produce a video every Monday, and on the first Monday of every month, I produce a video called Money Minute Mondays, where I give a money tip in 10 minutes or less. The other Mondays are all about retirement lifestyle and tips and tricks to make your retirement remarkable. I'm Maureen Dobransky, and this is Life Starts at Retirement.